Hi, crafters, and welcome to Finish It Friday, episode 169. So, what we're going to do today, if anyone knows me, I've been on vacation this week, and so I completely rearranged my work office craft room. And I hear something kind of rattling, so I'll have to figure out what that is. All right, this is a little different than what we left off with on Wednesday because I discovered that my microphone wasn't always working. So I just taped this down so we would be at a place where we could start. So this is my 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have my two that are 2 by 2 squares. I have my two that are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square. I have two that are 1.5 by 1.5 square. And I have two that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 square. Okay, and I just put some removable tape on it just to have some placement. Let me grab, sorry, from over here, a pen. So I've just put removable tape on it, and I'm going to figure out where I kind of like this to set. So I kind of like this. The only thing I really don't like about this is that somewhere here and here I got off, because this isn't a complete triangle there, but we're not going to worry about it. So I think I kind of like it. Let me move this down just a little bit so the points are right at the edge. I think I kind of like how this looks here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to make marks here so I know where I can put my glue. So I'm going to put glue on the inside of these marks. All right. And what I like to do, and again, I've moved everything around, so I'm looking for my glue bottle. Here's one right here. So I'm going to put some glue on there. All right, so this glue bottle is empty. Let me reach over my desk here. Here we go. And I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. This is my glue bottle holder. All right. So let's go ahead here because I'm going to put some glue down here inside those lines. And I'm going to let it get tacky. Because when you let it get tacky, I put lines there, went all the way to the top, I think. Because when you let it get tacky, then if you don't like the placement, it's a little easier to rearrange. Let me put a little bit more there, right along that line, so we have some good coverage. All right, so I'm going to set this aside for just a second, and let me get that out of the way. And let this dry over here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a background here. Now, I don't know what I really want to do as a background. I pulled out, I don't know how many of you got the advent calendar from Stampin' Up. I didn't show this because it sold out pretty quickly, and a lot of people weren't really able to see it advertised and get to it. So I like the little small words. So I'm going to use some of the words, but I'm going to do this little flower here. No, maybe the leaves. The leaves and a little bit of a background pattern. So you ended up getting a stamp set. There was a die set. Let me show you. There's a couple die sets that came with it. There's a bunch of different ephemera, masks, stuff like that. So if you really want to see this, I can always do another video. And maybe, yeah, no, I don't like showing it because if you can't get it, then it makes me look bad because now I'm showing something and you can't get it. All right, so let's go ahead and get those leaves. There's one. And the other one is here. Oh, I put it on the glue. You guys saw that. You saw that happening, didn't you? Criminelli. So now it's all over that. All right, I'm gonna put it off to the side so I can wipe it down. Or I'll let it dry, then I'll just rub it off. But that's the stamp set. I can't believe I did that. Well, I can, because that's just me. All right, so let's get a couple blocks. I'm using an A block that's retired, and then I think this is what? You see that? A B block. All right, which is available. The A's aren't. All right, and let me go ahead. Let me go back to. Let me get them from under my area here. Let's go back. I should have moved that far, far away. See, I had it over here on my trimmer. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get. I have Mossy Meadow. I was going to see if I had Old Olive in here. I think those are one of the colors that never show up in the paper pumpkin. These are all spots I have accumulated from paper pumpkin over the years. Yeah, I don't see any Old Olive. So I have Mossy Meadow, I have Shaded Spruce, and I have Garden Green. Yep, that's about it. All right. Let me move that over here out of the way. And let's just go ahead and do, these are the ones that aren't open. Of course, I always grab the one that isn't open. So I'll just show you. Take your scissors or snips or whatever it is you have. I like doing it by where the order number is, which I don't think you can order them anymore individually. All right, we're opening this. Oh, this one's already open. See, some of them are open, some aren't. This one's open. All right, so it's only my Mossy Meadow. Probably because there's like 9 million Mossy Meadows. I should put dots on the one. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put a little dot or something on the ones that are already open. All right, so let's just go ahead. And we're just putting some leaves everywhere. Oh, look how pretty that is. It really was a nice feature. Like I said, I just don't think they planned for it to go as quickly as it did. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, I'm gonna wipe this on something because it doesn't, it's like something on there. There was something on my spot. Okay, now let's see. All right, looks better. Now I don't know where any of these are going to hit with the way the Argyle. I think Marguerite said it looked like an Argyle sock. So let's just put some there around the edge, just so we have a little interest on the edge there. I'll put those all over here. Now let's grab this. Let's go ahead and get that relined back up. Might be easier to go like this because I see where those marks are. I would like that to be a little more up, but we'll leave it the way it is. If you don't, and I'm going to take off the reusable tape. move that together a little bit more there. Got a little bit of an edge there. Anywhere the glue comes through, you can just use your adhesive remover that is moving off there. So I want it to kind of stay like that. So I'm just going to hold it for a second. That one got a little move too. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Again, we'll take those snips now. I know that they're retired, the snips. The manufacturer that made them is no longer making them. So if you're looking for a pair of scissors from the Stampin' Up! Catalog, you're not going to find it. But scissors are pretty easily found out in the craft world. There's really nothing too exclusive about scissors. All right. I usually don't like going from the front. And I might put this through my big guillotine trimmer later. There you have that. So I do have a few extra pieces here. Like I said, if I wanted to, because I don't have anything in that area, so I could put this right here. Where's my, this is where I want to use my, this glue bottle. Spread it out a little bit so it's not so globby. I'm going to put that in there. And for the rest, I think it looks okay. Maybe I'll put one little tiny piece there because there's no leaf poking through there. And there's one last little piece here, but I think this one's too small. That there. I'm just going to hold this like this for a second. I put a little one here. I'll let that dry. Just hold them for a second because you have very little area here that's not covered. I'm sorry, there's a smaller area of glue than there is paper. So when we go to cut it through the guillotine, it's going to be a little bit shifty. So let's go ahead. I'll use my small little Stampin' Up! One that I have here. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting this against that edge. Let's go over here, putting the card against this edge. I'm just pushing it up like this so it's right on that edge. Now we have a straight area at the top. Again, I'm just making sure that's lined up to the edge. Same you would do for any guillotine cutter. Now I'm not going to do the guillotine on this edge because this is my folding edge. And if you're a little off with the guillotine, you now cut your card open. So I am going to do the snips right there. All right, let's go ahead and get all of this off. Now I didn't put it in your measurements, but on this you probably would need some sort of greeting, right? I'm just going to go to my ephemera. It's my go-to usually. And this one, I don't even think this one's around anymore. But any ephemera will do. Any ephemera will do. And I see one that's a little darker. I don't know if I like that saying. I think, and I want to find something a little bit bigger probably. Oh, look, I have a little piece of greenery. That could be good because I got a little bit of space right there. Let's see. So I don't think there's a lot of big words in this one. It looks like these are all pretty small. Oh, that's nice. Oh, maybe we'll just do that one. Because the other one I could have gone to was the black and white ephemera pack. That's this one right here, because this one has a lot of big greetings in it, and you could always use your markers or your stamp pads to color that. Oh, I do like that. All right. This one. I'm getting them all mixed up. So let's do this really quick. Let's do all the best up here. I'll kind of cover up that area. And we'll do happy birthday over here. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, so let me see if I have, let me find one of my green ones that might have a little bit on it. Just to dampen down that white a little bit. And I'm just going to do it a little bit around the edges. Let me see, this is what? This is garden green. This is, what's this one? Lemon lime. This one is granny apple green. There's a little, oh, there's nothing on that one. All right, so I just did it so there was just a little bit. I'm going to do a little darker here, just to get those edges a little more. And if you wanted to, what did I say? This was garden green, which is here. If you wanted to, there, now we're getting a little more color. I'm just going to do it around the edges. Just a little bit there. It looks very stark white when you put it up against all those colors. There we go. All right. And I'm going to leave that one up there like that. But let's go ahead and tape this down. Get my tape runner. You could pop this up if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it flat. This. There's a little bit of stickiness still over here. But this will cover up most of it and help hold that down. Let's put a little glue down here. And, oh shoot. Maybe I should have asked Santa Claus for a little luck when I make these cards. All right, so once this dries, I'll go ahead and take that removable eraser. All right, sorry, if it's loud, it's right by my microphone where my new microphone placement is. Okay, let's get this a little cleaned up. I'm not even going to put any ephemera on, any embellishments on. I said I'm going to wait for that to dry and I'll wipe off that glue from where I dropped. But there is that card. Alright, let me show you the others I did. This one I did layering. Again, I thought I was using embossing powder. Found out it was glitter. So after my Versamark and my non-embossing powder dried off, I wiped it off, but there were still the outlines on the Versamark. Oops, sorry. So I went in then with my fine tip glue, went around here, and then just did a bunch of heart dots. So there's that card. You can see where it got messy. I'm going to take the brush to it. But one thing about glitter is you really have to let it dry a couple days before you start brushing it away. So I will brush it away here in a little bit. And then here's this one where I butted the squares up. You can see the line down there. So I butted them up against one another. That way I could make like a frame rectangle look. I discovered that with the words, you want to make sure that it's really close when you stamp it. But there's that. And then I colored, these are the antique pearls that I colored with the blends. Is it going to focus? There we go. So the antique pearls that I colored with the blends. Alright guys, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. I hope you all had a great Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everything that you guys celebrate out there, I hope it was a joyous time. And we'll be back next Wednesday with another edition of Watch It Wednesday, Finish It Friday. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up if you don't mind. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.